arrivati alla fine.
No, ma io non ne voglio parlare. Da ora.
Tranquillo. Più scuro di mezzanotte può fare.
Eh?
Scherzo, dico. Come va va?
Devo fare passare le luci? La presentazione si vede? Enzo dov'è? Perché non ho capito che caffè era là a disposizione. Io pensavo che gliel'avessero detto. E giustamente per educazione nessuno tocca nulla se non hanno il là.
Certo. Iniziamo?
Ma forse farei spegnere 2 luci là? Please sit down and I may have your attention. E allora, siamo pronti? Siamo pronti per questo evento conclusivo di un progetto che va avanti dal 1° ottobre del 2023 al 30 settembre 2025. Quindi noi abbiamo lavorato 2 anni per concretizzare il prodotto che a breve vi verrà illustrato. Una grande cooperazione, un lavoro di internazionalizzazione, dove si sono misurati studenti e docenti da varie parti del mondo, che a breve conoscerete. E qui oggi, ancora di più, abbiamo voluto creare questo momento di raccordo interistituzionale, invitando le altre scuole, docenti della provincia, docenti di Alcamo e studenti di vari ordini e gradi. Quindi è un lavoro di condivisione che diventa patrimonio di tutti, perché è inutile nascondersi, la tecnologia è ormai nella nostra vita quotidiana, bisogna solo saperla utilizzare a fin di bene e per crescere ulteriormente. Io, oltre ad augurarvi buon ascolto e buona condivisione, passo la parola alla nostra moderatrice che curerà gli interventi, la professoressa Annabelle Piccione, che oggi vi accompagnerà mano a mano in questo percorso. Quindi buon ascolto, godiamoci gli interventi e poi ne riparliamo. Arrivederci.
Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to the final meeting of the ARIES project, Augmented and Immersive Reality for Improved Education in Schools in Europe. I'm Annabelle and I'm very honored to be your moderator for this event. Today we will explore how augmented and immersive reality is transforming education in European schools. The ARIES project brings together an incredible consortium. Let me introduce the partners. From Italy, we have the CNR Institute for Educational Technology and Smart Revolution, SRL. From Greece, Modele Palo Trikala. From Germany, the Blended Learning Institution Cooperative. And from Lithuania, Šalydžių Dvarių Gymnasia and the ITET Caruso School in Italy. Each of them brings unique expertise from research and consulting to hands-on teaching and technical innovation. Together, you are creating practical, immersive tools that are set to revolutionize education. Now, let's dive into the goals and achievements of the ARIES as we welcome our first speaker. Please, welcome Marco Arrigo from CNR ITD, Project Coordinator, who will present the project goals, implementation, and results.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome here. Today, I'm Marco Arrigo from Institute for Education Technology, and I am the project leader of this project. I would like to speak just a couple of minutes to present the project and some of the results that my other colleagues will present later in the other speech. First of all, this is a project that is an Erasmus project, 2 years of project, and the guideline of this project was, first of all, to give the teachers tools and knowledge in order to use this kind of technology, like augmented and immersive technologies in daily learning, and so in your daily school during your lesson. Then, of course, one of the main points was to provide teachers and students educational resources that can be used immediately and easily and for free. This is the partnership I can say before. Okay, so the objectives was, as I told you before, to provide this kind of tools and resources. But for example, as you know, first, usually the teacher has important problem when they would like to use this technology in the school, in the daily learning lesson, because they are difficult to use, not easy, very expensive, and so on. This was one of the points of the project, to provide them some resources, some application tools that was for free or just very, very easy to use. But as I said before, also we provided, we collected, we created, and also we provide by a platform the resource, the educational resource ready to use. And so for the teachers and also immediately for the student, it's possible to use these results to study in an innovative way. This was the methodology, and also we can see here some of the products of the outcome of our project. We start in the beginning of the project just to see what is the state of art. So what the other people produced about the use of this kind of technology in the secondary school, because this project is focused on the secondary school, high school. And so we collected in different way, as you can see in this graph, what we have just now, because we don't want to recreate something that is just available in the net. And then we collected this resource, this application, and we put in a platform that is accessible for free. The second part was to train the teacher in use this technology, and also to let they know that this technology are for free and is possible to use immediately. And so we organized some courses, a course in Palermo where we train 18 teachers around the Europe to use these technologies. And this teacher, in the third part of project, start some pilot in the partner's country in order to use during the lessons this kind of technology. Then also we adapted an application that is now possible to download for free from all the store, that was also used in some activity, like yesterday from some of the students that are around you. It was about a treasure hunt activity. That is our lecture application, our lecture treasure hunt. Okay, this slide I would like to, I said before, it was about the collection, and also we created also a competence framework for the teachers, because to give them a guide, some concrete material that they can use in order to know which kind of competencies, and also knows that they have to put more focus in their activity when they would like to design an activity with augmented and immersive reality. Okay, the pilot, maybe there is a colleague that will speak more about that, so I would like to skip it for time. Also for the hub, that is the platform, Sebastian, that will speak later after me, will explain you more in detail this platform. And well, also we had some concrete result, but we have also intangible result that usually is not so clear maybe immediately. And this list of results, intangible results and outcome that we saw during the year of the project are referred them also by the teacher and student that join to this project. So we saw, for example, a changing of organizing the material for the student, also the way how the student would like to learn to use this new technology. And of course, because it's one of the main activity that we use to know in this, using this technology is the higher motivation of the student. When we use this technology, usually the students would like to use them because they know that they can learn more efficiently and more easier. What do we learn? Because also we learn when we carry out this kind of project. We saw that effectively, when we provide some tools that are affordable for the teacher and low cost, the teacher are usually preferred, are welcome to use this technology in daily lessons. Also, of course, to provide them a competence framework give us the opportunity to evaluate also the competencies for the student and the teacher. But also, we say that it is important when you organize this kind of technology, this kind of activity, to pay attention in aspects like scheduling, accessing the resource devices that are available in the school, and so on. Sustainability, okay. What we create during the project needs obviously needs some future. I mean, for example, we need that the hub will be continuously added with the new resource and so on. But also for the courses to train the teachers, it is very important to train other teachers in order to use this technology. Well, I stopped myself because I spent 2 minutes more. Okay, and I would say thank you to all my partners, all the staff, the project, because it was great and we worked very good in a good way. This is a photo of some of us, not all, but it is the only photo that I used. Thank you.
Okay. So, thank you, Marco, for your comprehensive overview of this project. It's very exciting to see how far this project has come. Now, next we have Sebastian Schwabe from Germany's Blended Learning Institution Cooperative, who will introduce the ARIES support app.
Well, let's put it in the right position. First of all, thank you to all of you that you are now sitting here in front of me and I'm not talking again to my colleagues who are just next to me. I have the pleasure today to present something that I would call the most boring thing. It's a platform. So a platform for material qualified people developed, and I'm now collected it and put it on the platform. In this project, it's called the ARIES Support Hub, and I think it doesn't make sense to show you details there because it's a platform for exploring what is possible is not. Therefore, I just put 3 questions on all of it. So first of all, why a platform? What is on the platform? And well, in the end, how to use a platform. And I think one key element is, of course, well, as a central hub, you can use it all the time. Well, I hope you can see it, because now I have a wonderful screen and you only see some black background and some white color written. So nevertheless, this platform, of course, comes always with theory and try to bring something in your classroom that is definitely related to practice. And I guess this is already the challenge. So you have a platform in front of you and you need to reinvent yourself to choose what kind of content is fitting to you. But I guess over the last 1.5, almost 2 years, my colleagues were quite creative of using these content. And to sum it up a bit, so what is actually there, I have 3 elements. So the first one on the left side is actually, of course, focusing on augmented and immersive reality, while the middle part is more the theoretical background, focus on our competence framework, on how to use different methodologies, and of course, in the end, also reflect on that one, which means using an assessment. And I think what I would call the real quality here is the last part. We decided to call it the inspiration box, because this is what happened in the classroom. So these patient people were kind enough to find ideas that some of you in this room already seen, and I think this is a unique thing. So it's not like, okay, we have just the theory. No, we actually have some content and we can use it. And to give it even more detail, yes, augmented reality and immersive reality comes with a detailed background, and if you're lazy, you can read it, or you just decide, well, let me listen to me instead of reading the points that I wrote it on the wall. So nevertheless, this is our key element regarding augmented and immersive reality. So thanks to the CNR, we are in the position to provide teachers with a nice background, not just on theory, but also in how to create a course. And of course, to make it even more theoretical, we create the ARIES competence framework. Yes, we are driving on the wave of the European Union using buzzwords. So yes, we call it a competence, while some of you are related to subjects. And in the end, this is just the idea of implementing something new in the classroom. And to have a bit of a background, it's always good to create some theory. So we spent a long 2 days meetings to develop something just focusing on one competence, while in the end we ended up by having 23 competences. And if you're interested in it, well, you will find them on the platform. Something more fancy, something related to theory is, of course, design thinking. So we had in mind to not just having, well, some of you are already familiar with it, but the idea is to actually make something new out of it and give you as students the opportunity to be more engaged in how creating things. But of course, as a teacher, you also need to self-experience yourself, what does it mean? And yeah, of course, to make it even more complicated, we put this nice assessment behind it. We try to make it simple, so we have it in 2 different stages. The beginner version is just a simple spider questionnaire. You use it by mobile phone, use it on the browser, whatever you would like to use for. And the idea is to bring you in the position to reflect on your current awareness regarding augmented and immersive reality. Yes, it sounds boring, but it's about reflecting on what is really important in this context. And for those of you who are a teacher or trainer in this field, well, for you it's more important to do a level 5 assessment. So focus on a competence and consider yourself on a development pathway what learning means regarding augmented and immersive reality. And as I said, the most quality-related part is in the end our inspiration box. So I just can highlight already here that go on our platform, use the support hub, and actually see what colleagues of yours developed in our country. So we have, of course, Italy, twice here, and also Lithuania and Greece, and our colleague of Germany who were kind enough to show their ideas on this topic. And if you want to have a look on this website, well, it would look like this in the end. And before I see even more faces just looking in different direction and felt so bored by something that is a platform, I just thank you that you were listening to me over, I guess, 7-8 minutes. And I hope you don't have questions, because I think a platform is something that is self-explained. You should visit it. You're all in the position to use the internet, so use it. Get to know what it means. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sebastian. Now let's hear from the partners about their experiences with the ARIES pilot programs. Okay, Welcome to Paola Cappello from Smart Revolution SRL, Italy. Giuseppe Giovanni D'Alberti, ITT Caruso School. Sebastian Fave, Blended Learning Institution Cooperative. Lena Avdelidou from Modele Palo Trikala, Greece. And Alla Vostova from the Shali Variu Gimnasia, and Marco Rigo, of course.
Hello, good morning to everybody. I'm glad to be here in front of you. I will hold actually two presentations. One is regarding the overall pilot reports, so the results we collected after the pilots run. And then I will talk about the pilot we did as a partner, because every party did its report. I think this presentation may be curious to you because we will compare the results you yourself provided as well, together with what the other European partners said. So let's start. Basically, pilots were carried out not at the very beginning of the project, because you have already learned that the first year we worked, we had different previous and prior steps to allow the pilots to take place. So we have this stock-taking phase, so basically we collected the examples all around Europe regarding the usage of augmented and immersive reality in schools. We developed the competence framework, as Sebastian has told you before, the Moodle platform as well. And then as a final step before the pilots, we hosted and we participated in the so-called continuous professional development. So 1 week training in Palermo, in CNR, where we all learned how to integrate and use augmented and immersive reality tools in our training sessions. All in all, we had 23 pilots carried out by the ARIES partners. There are more pilots than the number of partners we are, because a single institution decided to involve several teachers in different subjects to carry out the pilots. Indeed, there were some 20 teachers and trainers carrying out pilots basically from January 2025 till May 2025. And now teachers and trainers are equipped with new skills, knowledge, attitudes, as well as easy to use and low cost tools they can use to enrich and make their lessons more engaging. As a project partner responsible for the piloting, what we did is that we created two different types of, let's say, ways of collecting information and feedback. Teachers were asked to fill in a sort of questionnaire, so some questions, and students were asked to fill in a Google form. So this is how the teacher's report looks like. Here are some highlights of the results we collected. So you see 23 reports, all in all 453 students involved, which is an impressive number to my mind. The average of the students' age average is between 13 and 18, and all in all we have like 19, 20 teachers involved. The subject which was most used for practicing augmented and reality tools was IT and communication, with all in all 7 pilots, then local language literature 3 times, and then art, sciences, math, Latin, history, geography, and so on and so forth. You can immediately notice how versatile and cross-cutting augmented and immersive reality tools can be. Here we analyzed the most preferred and used augmented and immersive reality tools. So Halo, HR, and Delighted are on the same level. So they were used in 7 pilot cases, but also Adobe Aereo was quite used 6 times more, all in all. Then to complete and to support the usage of augmented and immersive reality tools, there were other, I call them extra supporting tools, such as Sketchfab, ChatGPT, Adobe Illustrator, Google Slide, and so on and so forth. So, key results, a teacher's perspective, and then I will tell you more about the student's perspective. Of course, the pros of using augmented and immersive reality tools in that students, generally speaking, show a greater interest in the subjects. They can improve students' skills and knowledge, and as we've seen, they are a very versatile tool which can be adapted to several subjects and topics. The cons are basically related to maybe a poor technology and IT literacy, the fact that it's not easy to become familiar with these new technologies, and sometimes some teachers reported some technical issues such as problems with the internet or with download of the app. The student's perspective is very positive at any rate. So they were very satisfied, and they thought that these tools can really improve the learning process and also how they recall the facts. Here again are some pie graphs to show you how impactful and useful the tools were. So basically, augmented and immersive reality technologies help students remember the lesson easier, and of course they enable a more playful and engaging lesson. I'm about to close with some recommendations. So we think, and everybody thinks, that the subject application can be expanded. So we already had several subjects using the augmented and immersive reality tools, but these tools can be even more widespread in different subjects and topics. We can use and exploit these tools to really customize as much as possible the content of the lessons, and they are really useful to enhance and stimulate students' desire to learn. What they still need to do is more training, especially for teachers, and maybe also more technical support while using this pretty new technology in everyday classrooms all around Europe. So I thank you for for your attention. Now I skip to my second presentation, which is actually what we did as a Smart Revolution. I will start by saying that we are a little bit peculiar in the type of partner we are, because actually we are a consultancy firm, so a consultancy company, which also delivers trainings on top of managing European project. So what we did actually is that we had our pilot not in a secondary school, but we had our pilot with some adults attending a training course on inclusive mobility with disadvantages, organized in the framework of another Erasmus Plus project, which was called Trailed, and this happened in Marseille at the end of March. Our course was about security, so how to make travels more safe, and so we focused on how to create your grab bag. Grab bag, I don't know if this term sounds familiar to you, so you have a picture here. A grab bag is a bag in which you put really the essential stuff you need in case you need to escape and hurry, okay? So our pilot, which used the Delitex app, was set up in this way. So you could enter a flat, an apartment. You had several objects and stuff all around the flat. You could move within the different rooms, and you had to pick up only the right objects to be put in your grab bag. For instance, if you are in a hurry, you will never get your towels with you or your newest sweater with you, but just really the essential things to survive. The learner's profile was a little bit different from you, so younger students. We involved 13 persons, aged between 40 and 60, and nationalities were very different one another. So we had people from France, Portugal, Germany, Slovenia, and Lithuanian. So what did the students or learners say about the pilot? All in all, again, very positive result. So they thought that in this way the learning process was easier. The learning process was also curious for them. And of course, it helped them materialize and visualize what the content of the training session was. So our conclusion is definitely positive. We would like to recommend the usage and the widespread of augmented and immersive realities in all training settings in different subjects, because you see this was quite a peculiar topic we covered. And I think it's likely that we will keep on using augmented and immersive reality tools. We will test more tools in the upcoming training course we will organize. So I thank you for your attention, and if you have any question, I will be glad to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Paola. Now let's continue with Giovanni Giuseppe D'Alberti, from a teacher of this school, the ITT School Caruso.
Sorry. Okay, we can start. So, I prepared some notes to end in time. And first of all, good morning to everyone, and thank you for being here. I am Giovanni Giuseppe D'Alberti, as Annabella said. I teach computer science at ITT Caruso, and today I'll share our school experience during the piloting phase of the ARIES project. We concluded 3 experimental activities across 3 different classes, involved more than 60 students, and faced many educational challenges and exciting opportunity along the way. Let's see the key figures. As I said, we pilot 3 learning units. The classes involved were the third AIT, the third DIT, and the fourth BIT, around 60 students in total. We used tools like co-spaces. Actually, the name is changed was called space when we started our experimentation. Now it call it the light text. Adobe Aero, Realmax, and other application, because the students choose the application they wanted to use. Every phase was developed following the design thinking methodology, which guided both our teaching strategies and the students' learning process. But what was the name of the unit? What was the topic? The topic covered these three learning unit plans. The first one was artificial intelligence applied through augmented reality in education. The second one was a PC hardware component in AR, and that means an exploded 3D model of a computer. And the third one, analog and digital signal sampling concept in augmented reality. These three topics allowed students to explore theoretical content in a more practical, interactive, and immersive way. That was the purpose of the project. How we worked. The work was divided into several phases. First, students conducted individual research. Then they collaborated in teams to design and create digital content. They directly tested the AR tools. The students directly tested the AR tool, often solving issue independently by themselves. The final products were interactive learning objects and multimedia presentations. They were accessible. A learning object were accessible via a smartphone, tablets, or Merge Cube that we also used in our activity. But about the methodology. As I said before, we use the design thinking methodology. That means this methodology is composed by 5 steps. The first one is empathize, that is used to identify students' learning needs. The second one is define, in which the teacher clarifying the learning goal. Then ideate, generated the idea and proposing solutions. Then prototype, the student created digital content and AR experiences. And the end, the test, in which the student presenting, sharing, and improving their work based on peer feedbacks, because the students were divided in group. Each group showed to the other students the work that have been done, to have suggestion to improve the work did so far. Then the contents developed cover this subject. Students explored a wide range of curricular content: AR definition, classification, risk, and application. That was the learning unit plan that I ran with my students. The second one was identification and functioning of an hardware components. And the last one, analog versus digital signal and the concept of sampling. These topics were connected to subjects like computer science, electronics, and physics. But what the students learned? The students learn throughout the pilot and also developed strong digital and technical skill. Also, they used the problem solving and creation, collaboration and communication abilities, confidence in using innovative tools, and most important of all, they were engaged and motivated by the hands-on and immersive learning experience. Because in our opinion, if you do something practically, you will learn more than just listen in a book, theoretically. But what about the students' perspective? The students' feedback was overwhelmingly positive. They enjoyed interactive and immersive activities. Group work in a very strong collaboration and mutual support. They felt more involved and curious throughout the project. Many described their experiences as different, useful, and very fun. And what about point of view of a teacher point of view? For us, teachers, it was a valuable professional growth opportunity. We learned to integrate AR tools into our lessons. We experimented with new active learning strategies. We plan to extend these approaches to other subjects. Our goal, in fact, is to promote innovation in teaching and share these good practices with colleagues. And to conclude my presentation, what we have to take away, what are the key points of this experimentation in our point of view, by Edith Caruso teacher. To sum up, I could say that augmented and immersive reality combined with AI, artificial intelligence, helps make abstract content more concrete and understandable for the students. The design thinking methodology encourages creativity and student-centered learning. And at the end, but not last, the ARIES project offers a real chance to innovate teaching practices and engage students with future-ready skills. And this is really the end. I thank you, you all for the attention. If you're interested in learning more about our work, feel to visit our website or the website project or contact us. We are proud to have taken part in the ARIES project and look forward to continuing this educational innovation journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Now let's go on with Sebastian. Sebastian Schwabe from the Blended Learning Institution Cooperative, Germany.
So, again me in front of you, again talking to you, again stealing your time. But this time, well, I try to be a teacher in a way, which I'm lucky for me, I'm not. But in Germany, I was able to convince a colleague of mine or former friend that augmented and immersive reality would be great to have it at our school. So he was kind enough to actually do two kinds of pilotings, one actually in Latin and the other one in physics. And the main idea was, in the end, to involve students like you to come engage and, well, create your own learning content. And of course, I can give you now the details regarding the background, but maybe it's better if it becomes more kind of a story. So when I was a student, I was sent on several trips because this is what we do in school, and we headed to a nice city, and in the end, a guide would be so kind and guide us through a city and give us a nice tour. With the effect that in 9 out of 10 cases, I wasn't listening, and I'm not sure about you, but maybe you were also not interested in tours like that. So what my colleague in Göttingen, so the place where we're coming from, actually did was involving you, so students like you, to develop your own tour through, in this case, Rome. So he decided that this is something on your shoulder, that if you want to be, well, aware what happened regarding history, and in this case, Roman history, or in this specific case, regarding the Latin language, you need to start working on your own content. And of course, there's this challenge of creating content with digital tools that are related to Wi-Fi, to hardware that is working, and in the end, a teacher who will be able to explain to you how to implement it in the classroom. Well, after finding ways to go through these horrible things, students like you, so in the end a group of 18, were sent to Rome and created their own school trip. And this had such an impact that after this course, several other colleagues were actually joining the class and were listening to students like you, because they learned that if you are interested in the topic, it might make sense to give you more space in the classroom. So quite happy I can say, well, in the end, we turned it around and used augmented and immersive reality a bit like a driver, and you were becoming teachers and developed ideas that are fitting to your purpose of learning. Well, in the end, of course, you still need teachers somehow. Not just somehow, in the end you somehow need them more than we actually know. But I guess if you become more engaged and become more responsible regarding this content you would like to learn, the output will be great. And therefore, well, in the end, I have to thank students like you who are now sitting on a Friday morning here and listening to a guy from Germany. And maybe you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but I hope at least the word augmented and immersive reality will have an impact on you. So this is just what I would like to tell you about Germany. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Now we turn to Lena Abdelidou from the Model EPAL of Trikala, Greece, who will share her experience.
Buongiorno a tutti. It is a great honor for me to be here today on behalf of Model EPAL of Trikala at the closing of our Erasmus Plus project on augmented and virtual reality technologies. When our school first joined this program, we were curious and maybe a little unsure about how AR and VR could really fit into education. But now, looking back, I can honestly say this project has been one of the most exciting and rewarding experiences for both our students and our teachers. For us as a school, the highlight was the pilot phase we carried out, and it all started after two of our teachers attended a seminar in Palermo and came back full of ideas. When they returned, we organized a seminar at our school to share their new knowledge and train some colleagues. From there, things grew quickly. 10 teachers from different subjects joined the effort. 215 students got directly involved. We ran 12 pilot courses in diverse subjects using technologies like Halo AR, CoSpaces, Adobe Aero, and Cosmotech Kronos app. For the students, it meant learning in a completely new way. Instead of just reading or listening, they could see, build, and interact with the material. A lesson suddenly became an experience. For the teachers, it was a chance to try something different, to make classes more creative, and to see how much more engaged the students became. Of course, it wasn't always easy. Experimenting with new technologies never is, but that was also part of the fun. We learned together, we laughed together when things didn't work right away, and we celebrated when they finally did. What really made this project special, though, was not just technology. It was the people, working with our partners from across Europe, sharing ideas and building friendships, reminded us the Erasmus Plus is more about than project. It's about connection and collaboration. For our school, this has been a transformative journey. Our students discovered new skills, our teachers gained confidence with new tools, and together we saw what education can look like when it's innovative, creative, and open to the future. I want to thank our partners for their cooperation, our teachers for their energy and openness, and above all, our students, because their enthusiasm gave life to this pilot phase and to the whole project. Thanks to this Erasmus Plus program, now we know that learning doesn't have to stay in the classroom. It can reach into virtual worlds, into augmented spaces, and most importantly, across borders. Now we can have a look at a short video we prepared about the Greek pilot courses. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. I would like to add that the two Greek interactive maps, they are at the back of this room, and you can have your mobile phones and you can have a look at the end of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lena. Let's go on. Let's continue with Alla Vostova, joining us from Šaliūdis Dvarių Gimnazija, Lithuania.
So, hello everyone. I am Alla from Lithuania, and I am teacher of English. So, are there anybody still alive? Could you wave your... some here. Good. So I'll address you. When we decided to be involved in the ARIES project, we had some ideas in our heads. The first thing, our school is quite academical, focused on academic knowledge. We decided that the project was going to be very beneficial for some other things, not only academic knowledge. That's why we decided, as English people say, to kill 3 birds by 1 stone. So, okay, we thought that the project will help us to focus on competences which are very important in the 21st century's education. Also, the project itself helped to include the students with special learning needs. And what is more, using augmented and immersive reality is quite fun. So it makes the learning process like a game. So, and one more reason for joining the project was trying to show not only the students but also the teachers that augmented reality is not only the piece of cake for IT students and teachers, but for other subjects as well. And our project our pilots have successfully proved that. So logically, we started with the an IT teacher, and we had 2 learning units. The first one was on digital Christmas cards, when students were creating interactive Christmas cards using augmented and immersive reality. Also, these lessons were integrated with English, so that the text in the postcards was English. So that was a very successful sample of integration subjects. And now I address the teachers. You shouldn't be afraid of challenges integrating different subjects using augmented reality, which is really very helpful. Moreover, during the training, we were provided with information, knowledge about some apps of augmented and immersive reality, but the teachers were so much inspired that they decided to look for other ones, okay? So in that way, the range and the number of tools just expanded. So 45 students were involved in both learning units, digital Christmas cards, and creating commercial ads. These lessons were integrated with economics. Okay, so you can see just the process of learning. Okay. Moving on, speaking about Lithuania, mathematics That's the most challengeable subject for the students. And the policies of Ministry of Education now is changing and moving towards how to make mathematics more attractive for students. And I should say that augmented and immersive reality played, well, a huge role here, making mathematics more like understandable, okay, fun to learn. So the teacher had two learning units, one on cross-section of 3D shapes, well, which for me is even difficult to pronounce, and volume of solids. Again, the teacher used the augmented reality that facilitated her needs, okay, and purposes that, and the goals that she wanted to achieve during the lessons, and the ones that were presented during ARIES project. So you should see that the main challenges that were named when the learning unit was accomplished, there were technical problems. So we were surprised how much the students were involved. And I could show you like just some pictures. There were videos of them, and I guess you can see the videos, the hub for sure. When students were experimenting with augmented reality and different shapes and applying the knowledge, of mathematics and IT or augmented reality as well, they did their homework. They spent some time during the classes. So the only thing they said, that was much fun. They learned a lot. The only problem might be, well, technical problems. Okay, these are not really the problems. And the last thing is mine. So you do understand, I am not a techie geek. So for me, that was a challenge. So what I did, I decided that learning process, teaching and learning, it's a cooperative process of the teacher and the students. So the learning unit that we had with my students, the map of city murals of Cholet City, it was produced in a very tight cooperation with my students. I'm so thankful, some of them are here, as they were responsible for augmented reality on the technical things, right? And I was responsible for teaching the content, okay? And we had kind of the demo version of the murals of the city, the map. But to move forward, the art gallery, which is very close to our school, decided to use it, okay, for a real mural map for the gallery, so that tourists of the city could use it. So just the message for the teachers, you see, it's not only augmented reality, it's not only for cooperation, collaboration, creativity, but it could also serve your community inside the school and outside the school as well. And that was a great example. Yeah, and you see the future teacher, Linus, he's here. So, all in all, sometimes we are afraid of something new and unknown. But take the step, be brave, and you will see how broad the horizons can be. So while teaching with augmented and immersive reality, you can be creative in different subjects, school subjects. By doing that, not only do you improve your academic field, but also the competences, collaboration, cooperation, creativity, communications, and many, many more on different levels from 1 to 5, and you can reach 5 for sure. creativity and creation, that's always an inspiring part of the learning and teaching. And just to wrap everything up, we are a teaching and learning community. The school, the students, the teachers, we are together. So by collaborating with each other, we could reach a perfect result with future education all over the Europe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alla. Now let's hear from Marco Arrigo, the project coordinator from CNRITD Italy.
Here I am again. So, now I would like to talk you about the pilot that we support in Palermo with the school. We involved in this project also some teachers of Institute of Einaudi Pareto in Palermo. In particular, two teachers that are one on chemistry and the other one Italian language, Maria Concetta Vitale and also Marta Lo Monaco, were involved in this project in order to pilot, but before, as I told you before, we involved them in the first part of the project in order to train this teacher in using the augmented immersive reality in their lessons. So they pilot also this technology with their student. As we said in this speech, the idea is also, okay, we train teachers, but we would like to make student co-author of the material, of the learning material. And so that the student in this case is in this pilot create the contents for the other students as well. And the idea in this pilot that we support with this teacher was to create two different pilots. One was very difficult in some challenge because it was the using of this kind of technology in Italian language. So the teacher said, oh, it is impossible to use this kind of technology in this subject. And it was very nice because the idea was the students that learn Italian languages, and particularly poetry, and was Sabato del Villaggio, and the other student that learn chemistry in the other subject was created the material. The group creates something about the Italian and the language, and the other from the chemistry, and then the product that they create was used from the other students, and so they try to learn in different way, different subject from this created by students, not from teachers. And was very nice because it was interesting point of using this kind of technology. Okay, just some number. We have this two pilot in the Institute of Pareto, and with 13 students in chemistry, and the focus was about the use of a periodic table or atomic structure, because they used, for example, 3D model to represent the molecule, the atomic structure, or something other about the chemistry. And also to see the abstract structure that they used to read in the book, just to move in the ambient and in the classroom with the augmented reality. And on the other side, 24 students tried to explain, to teach to other students, and so they create material, and they studied this kind of topics in different way, because they was forced to study more what about this poem in order to represent this kind of contents in another way, in an innovative way, using augmented immersive reality. So As other pilot, also in this pilot was used the same thinking methodology, and okay, as I told you, the peer changed the topics. So in the chemist pilot, they used, we organize, we support these teachers in organizing different lessons because the period of pilot was articulated in different steps using introduce students in order to how to use the augmented reality, and then create the contents. The student created the content, and so this is the structure. Well, here there are some outcome of this pilot about chemistry, but are quite the same also about the Italian language. All the students say that they find this kind of technology very useful in order to learn more easier and in deep, because they are forced to study more in order to create the contents, but also they was motivated in order to use, when they use this kind of technology. Okay, obviously there are some challenges and that they learned also in using this technology. Using 3D object creates some problem initially to the students. Then there was some problem about the scheduling because we had two different groups that had to create the material that the other student will be used. The scheduling was very important also in order to organize this kind of activities. Okay, the same for the Italian language. And so the poem, The Sabato del Villaggio, that was very, very challenging for the students. They created different kind of representation of this poem with 3 object, with video, augmented reality content, and so on. The creativity was incredible about this student. It was very, very nice. Also, as the chemistry pilot, they have the same output from the student, and the challenger was quite the same, because maybe there was some problem also on looking for the resources to use in order to create this kind of content for the Italian language pilot, because for the chemistry student it was easy to find, for example, in Sketchfab platform, some model, 3D model about the chemistry things. But about the Italian language, the poem was very challenging to find 3D objects and to organize something that should be nice to represent this kind of poems. Well, between pilots we can add some takeaway, of course, and was about quite the same that we saw in all pilots. So the augmented immersive reality helps students and also teachers in order to provide an innovative way to teach and to learn for the students. And that design thinking was a good methodology in order to organize the activity during the CPD, and so the course that we set up for trained teachers, but also during the pilot. And also the material produced by the teachers, by the partners, by the students should be open, and also all the material that we collect during the project that is available in the hub, it is important to be accessible for free and open to other teachers, other students, in order to use this kind of technology. And the scalability, of course, it's important also in this kind of a project to spread the using of these technologies and these educational resource in the school and the other class. What's next? What I said you, all the teachers, the teachers that participated to this pilot would like to improve, to use this way, to use the technology in other class in the same school. And they would like to provide more tutorial to use the technology because, of course, from some teachers should be a problem to know these things. Well, and what I said before, to publish the resource from the students. I finish with this talk, and I would like to thank all my staff in the CNR that is shown in this slide. Thank you very much.
Okay, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, now let's pass the floor to the students who participated yesterday to the activity of the treasure hunt in Palermo.
Where's the slide? Where's the slide? The slides? Oh. Sorry? Where are the slides?
Maybe they put, I think,
Group 1.
is it?
Group
okay.
1. Yeah, I think the first one.
Yes, I think this one, yeah, that one is temp 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Gustas. Oh, sorry. My name is Gustas, and I am a student from Lithuania and a representative of my school, Šiauliai Dižvaras Gymnasium. And I want to present to you our experience in Palermo on behalf of my group, which includes me, Alexandra from Greece, as well as Alessandro and Rahel from your school. So moving on. I will start about how we started this project when we came on Wednesday. We started off by mixing into groups from different cultures and countries, which helped us to improve our English competence as well as make new connections. We started with the idea of thinking how to make puzzles for other groups, which we included in the Augmented Immersive Reality app. And the first day we did that, and on the second day, which was yesterday, we went into Palermo and we got a tablet and we walked around different places, which was really interesting and fun to get to know Palermo on a deeper level and from different perspectives. So some of the pluses that we've mentioned was that you guys really have hot weather here compared to Lithuania, and we feel really lucky as well as gratitude for this opportunity, and thank you guys for giving this opportunity. Talking about Palermo, I can say that it is a very beautiful place. The architecture is amazing, and the food that we tried was really good as well as tasteful. And if you would ask us if we would want to change anything, absolutely not, because this experience is a one in a lifetime, and we have no doubts that we will come back to Palermo once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is a PDF, probably.
Yeah, it was a PDF, but it's just gonna show like this. I can't extend it, can I? Because I don't think so. I don't. I really don't like speaking in front of other people. I'll try.
I don't know how to expand this computer.
Okay. I think you can hear me. So greetings to you all. that we have gathered to talk about the ARIES project and the experience. And I, as the representative of the second group of the treasure hunt that we did yesterday, and well, it was a 2-day experience, I would like to share what we think. The group consists of me, Danaif and Nicoleta from Greece, me and Linas from Lithuania, and Sergio and Giuseppe from Italy. So first, I'll give here's our team, a picture of us, if you can see, of course. I'll give a brief overview of what we did over these 2 days. So first day was we all met up, we're split into groups, and we started collaborating, brainstorming, and working. Our main task was to create quizzes that we would go around Palermo and look for clues and solve quizzes. That was the main idea. And day 1 was a preparation, and day 2 was the actual activity where we went around and tried completing the tasks. So what is important is obviously what we have learned. So our learning outcomes are obviously improved communication skills, as well as we have created new connections and friendships with my group at least. What also is important is the cultural aspect of this whole experience, as I am not from Italy and so are 4 other team members of mine. It was really fun and interesting to explore the city, to see the beautiful architecture, to experience the culture, the people. Also, while we prepared for the quizzes and we improved our technological skills, as we had to learn how to use the different softwares. What is important, of course, as nothing is perfect, we need to look at the downsides that we have experienced. So the major, the only really major flaw that we have experienced was how the different groups and the quizzes that we created, the difficulty was not necessarily the same, and some got really easy quizzes while others didn't, and so it wasn't really a fair game in terms of who might win today. The other thing is, at least for me, I'm not really used to this warm weather. And so walking around and around the city in this heat was very exhausting for sure. While there are downsides, nevertheless, I think that this project really shows how augmented and immersive reality can be used in education to create an entertaining and an inclusive environment for students to learn. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. My name is Justina. I am from Lithuania and I study in Šiauliai Dažvaris Gymnasium. And I was in group 3 and I would like to present our experience as a group during this project. So this is our team, me and Victoria from Lithuania, Polly and Helen from Greece, and Ignacio and Salvatore from Italy. So first, I would like to share one of the activities. So we divided into groups of 3, and we had to make puzzles using augmented reality, like Sudoku, crosswords, mathematical equations, and any other kinds of riddles that we could imagine. And it was really interesting to see how creative we could be. And during the treasure hunt, we visited beautiful places like the ones mentioned here, the Politeama Theater, Piazza Bellini, Piazza Verdi, Palermo Cathedral, and the Royal Palace with its splendid Palatine Chapel. And working in groups was really fun because I thought at first that it would be a little bit difficult because of the language barriers, but everyone in our group spoke English really well, and we bonded, we talked, and it was really fun to get to know everyone. And it was really, truly fascinating to discover Palermo in such an engaging and innovative way. It was really nice to get to know so many people and especially learn how to use augmented reality. Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on to the awards ceremony for the team who won the treasure hunt. So, welcome to the headmaster, Vincenzo Mione, who gives the prize. Okay, the guys, the students who participated to this activity, please come here. Yes. All the students, all the students. Okay. Okay. A microphone.
Hello. Okay. I heard your words, and I understood that you really enjoyed these activities. And what is really nice is to see how in a few hours you became a group. This is very important for your future because working together is one of the best competence we have to reach. Stay together, working together, and have a nice time together, learning together is one of the most objectives we want to fulfill. So, after the activity you did in Palermo, I can announce that the winner is Group 1. Say your names. Present yourself.
Hi, my name is Raquel.
Your name.
My name is Gustas Gedmanas. Thank you.
From Lithuania.
My name is Alexandra from Greece.
From Greece.
My name is Alessandro Carta from Malcolm.
From Malcolm.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you all for being part of this final event of the ARIES project on augmented and immersive reality. So thank you for your presence and see you next time. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the final meeting of the ARIES project, Augmented and Immersive Reality for Improved Education in Schools in Europe, a project that brings together partners from Germany, Greece, Italy, and Lithuania with the shared goal of creating practical, accessible learning tools for high school teachers and students. Today, we are going to talk about how augmented and immersive reality is transforming education in European schools. Let's start with Vincenza Mione, the school headmaster of the ITT Caruso School. Mrs. Mione, what strategies do you consider most effective for integrated, augmented, and immersive reality technology into school curricula while actively engaging teachers and enhancing student skills?
Well, this is a great strategy that we are going to take for our habits, because we have discovered that if you are engaged in your work, in working with students, you get students more engaged in their process of acquirement. So it's something that we have to share. Teachers motivated gives motivation to students and back forward. In this way, if we have in a school all these techniques and these methodologies, we are sure that anyone can be a part. Every student can reach the goals because they have the time to reach it in the way they want to do. We have time, we have techniques, we have a methodology, so everybody can achieve competence for the world.
Okay, thank you. Let's now pass the floor to Francesca Pozzi, Director of the Institute for Educational Technology, the CNR. Mrs. Pozzi, what actions can support the transfer and the valorization of the project's results?
Well, I guess the microphone is off now.
Yes,
so
okay.
Let's change it. So thank you very much. I think when a project like this comes to its end, we are actually achieving the most critical stage, because during the project we have shown that using augmented and immersive reality technologies can improve teaching and learning processes, can support engagement and motivation of students. But now we have to transfer these results into other contexts. That is, so far we have worked with our pilot schools. We have provided teacher training to a number of teachers, and then we have developed for them a number of resources and materials which are now available on the project hub. But now we have to do, the next step, which is to try to encourage other people working in more traditional schools, let's say, to take up our innovation and to use it in their everyday practice. So what can we do to make this little step forward, which is not little actually, it's quite big to tell the truth. So there is an interesting book by Everett Roger which talk about the diffusion of innovation. And it is interesting from this book to learn that, according to Rogers, there are 5 types of people, okay? When you need to introduce an innovation into a system, you have 5 types of people. That is, you have the innovators, okay? They are the more enthusiastic people, very open to innovation. Then you have the early adopter. We are, again, very keen to innovation. And then you have what Rogers called the early majority. These are people who are not in principle against innovation, but they need to be, they are a little bit more skeptical, and they need to be somehow convinced to take up innovation. And then you have the late majority, and then you have the laggards, who are people who probably will never adopt innovation, or at least they will adopt it when this technology will not be an innovation anymore. So I think in this project we have reached for sure innovators and early adopters, but then now there is a chasm, and we need to reach the early majority. So how can we do it? There are a lot of actions, of course, that we could do. It's easy to say that there are, a lot of, international and national channels that we can use to disseminate our results. This is something that is quite, let's say, easy to use. But I don't think this will be enough. I mean, if you just work on raising awareness of your results, this probably will, yes, okay, raise awareness, but it's not enough, okay? So what we should do now, I think, is to focus on our early adopters. So the teachers that we had in our project, these are our ambassadors. These are the people who, with their energy, with their enthusiasm, can be, the voice of the project. They can show the benefits of our results to the early majority, showing that our results are not only innovative, but they are also compatible with the context. Because, in school, one problem that you often have is that there are barriers to innovation, to inject innovation. But in this project, they have worked to integrate these tools and these approaches into already existing curricula. This is very important. It's a crucial point that we need to show. So we need to elicit case studies, testimonials, interviews, whatever you want, to elicit from our ambassador and to reach the early majority. We have to have this early majority possibility to test and to experiment, to use in first person our results. This is, let's say, sort of bottom-up approach. I think today is also important to have a top-down approach. That is to say that we also need to reach policymakers, because we need to, given that in this same project, we have found that there are criticalities in the educational system that might prevent this innovation to be adopted. We have to reach policymakers and find for them solutions, alternatives in the way our schools are organized in these days. And what we need to do is to reach them, to give them recommendation, guidelines, suggestion, call it as you want, but we need our role now is to provide them with inputs in such a way that they can reconceive, rethink the educational system in a more compatible way in respect to the competencies that today we need to develop in our students. So this is my point.
Thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce you the next speaker, Laura Daricello from the National Institute of Astrophysics, Palermo. Mrs. Daricello, how can integrated and immersive realities technologies make scientific outreach in schools more engaging, more accessible, sparking curiosity and interest in STEM subjects?
What a nice question. How many hours do I have to answer?
No, a few minutes. Yes, just a few minutes.
Of course, I'm joking, but as all the researchers involved in the project explained this morning, for instance, one of the first points is that students can, with immersive technologies, can experience firsthand environments. For instance, I work for the National Institute of Astrophysics, so they can explore on their own an environment where a star is dead, a supernova explosion, and they can go around in this environment and understand and see and touch and know everything about chemical distribution or magnetic fields. And this is one first point. It is an active learning, not a passive way of learning. They explore like visitors in a new environment. For instance, astronomy is a really good place, good subject to study with immersive technologies, because it is so distant. Stars are distant from us, and it is a way to explain research how it is today. For instance, my colleagues studies exoplanets, the planets which orbits around stars different from the sun, and students are not used to think about exoplanets and other stars different from the sun. They usually know the solar system, and they can go there and see what happens in a planet similar to Earth, why it is not inhabited, because there are different conditions, for instance. This is one first point. Another point is that thanks to augmented reality, immersive reality, people can do experiments. For instance, they can enter into laboratories and make experiments, but they can do that in safe environment, and so that they can train, and when they go in dangerous laboratories, for instance, they are able to do things, and they don't risk anything at all. There are many other things. For instance, when you say the critical thinking, for us is a very important point, because we are like the CNR public entities. So we live on the funds of the taxes of the people. So we must give back our research to people, and we want them to understand, and when they will become politicians or men or citizens in the future, when they grow up, they have to decide of our future, of our research, of the funds that I have to study and to go ahead with my research. So for us, it's really important that they understand, that they experience and understand things, so that they can put it in practice. But there are also many other things. For instance, immersive technologies are inclusive. They give the same opportunities to different people. For instance, one of the last work I did is the virtual reality of CTAO, the Cherenkov telescopes, which they are building in La Palma, in Spain, and then in the desert of Atacama. And I give the opportunity to students to go there. How many students can go to the desert of Atacama from your school, for instance? And they can walk around the telescopes. There are very big telescopes, and understand how do they work, and also which is the object of their, the target of their research. And or Cherenkov astronomy, what is it? You can observe gamma ray because they are over the atmosphere, but there are some telescopes that can do that. So they can understand things because they go there and understand there.
They experiment.
They experiment, yes, on their own. But Yes, it is a way to understand that not only motivate people, motivate students because they are millennials and they are used to computers, used to mobile phones, but not only for this, but because they have to experiment to understand. They don't want anymore people who from the top tell them, this is the truth, you have to know it, you have to experiment. We want them to understand the scientific method, to make themselves scientists in a way. Moreover, immersive technologies can give the opportunity to self-assessment in the way that they can check their deficiencies. Okay.
Yes, unfortunately.
There is a lot of text now in the chat.
Exactly, I'm doing the same but directly to...
What was I saying when you lost connection? Where I was?
Okay, there are some issues with the connection. I don't know. Okay, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I was saying that students can also understand their faults when they are doing a personal experience with in education with immersive technologies, and they can correct misunderstandings or faults during the path they are going to do, and evaluating themselves during the formative process. So it is not just an evaluation, but a way to grow up, to auto-learning. I was saying also that, for instance, the personal experience can help with dyslexia or other speaking and understanding disorders. And immersive experiences with the multisensoriality, the audio, the also imaging, can support people who are normally disadvantaged in this kind of education, of learning. I think
it's very interesting. Thank you very much. Yes.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, of course.
No, I just wanted to stress something you said, which is, to me, it's very important. When you said, today our students are millennials, okay, so they don't like anymore if, this transmissive approach where there is a teacher who, simply pour his or her knowledge into their minds. And I think this is not only true, but I think technologies in this sense give us an opportunity to change our methods, to innovate our methods. So, in this project, for example, yes, they use the technology to experiment, to experience phenomena and contents, but also they worked in groups, which is, really the value, I think, in terms of methods of this project. So they, not only they explore the content, but also they learn to work together. They learn to stay together and to create a community, which is something, it's, I think, fundamental in these days.
It's very important. It's fundamental in education, yes.
Since I am an headmaster, I have to notice that there is a big problem, which is the contract of teachers. Because we don't have the opportunity to have teachers disponible to do this. They have to do such a lot of hours in different classrooms and not in a laboratory. We have to change the organization of the school. If we want that this become a reality, we have to change the organization of the school. We have to start from a school which is doing school, and we have to have teachers already prepared to use these new methodologies. Teachers are not coming all from INAF or CNR, I don't know from where they come now. Sometimes they're here as a chance. So they have to be driven in this field, and we need time, and we need to be more free in the contract. The contract make us a lot of edges, and we can't be challenging in this field. This is a very great problem for us, because now we are talking about ideas, but at school, these ideas should become facts. And to have facts, I have to have people, teachers, students, and technologies. I have to have all of this to organize a new school, because what we are thinking about now is a really new school. It's not the school we did as I was a child, not you, but it was I was a child.
Also,
okay, from page here to page there, from page 9 to page 29, study this is all. Now we have to manage with different methodologies, because they are more involving and student-centered. The student is the main character of this process. And if we want this, we have to change teachers, because they are the trade union. They are between students and ideas. They have to put ideas in real.
And so I see another problem, a very big problem, more than this, bigger than this, because the ministry, as you all know, doesn't want to the use of mobile phones when students are.
I agree with this. I agree.
Yeah,
we have
well.
more, believe me, easy, better in this way in classroom.
But
they have to use under control.
Of course, under control, but they have to
They
use
should be
them in
educated
class.
at using mobile phone classes. But it's a sort of paradox, because our ministry says students cannot use mobile phone at all when they are at the classroom, but the implementation of the new teaching methods, the digitalization of teaching is fundamental for our educational system. But
in each school, we have laboratories already equipped with all the technology. All the schools had the opportunity to buy what they need, and we can share all together. The opportunity you give to a classroom is not for one student, it's for the whole group. If we go to see a star, we go all together in the same moment. In the same classroom with the same technology. If I have an iPhone which is not good to do this, I will stay apart.
Yes.
If I have to use your own technology, it is not possible to share all the technology all together with the same opportunity.
I understand your point, but you were talking about teachers, old-style teachers, for instance. When the ministry says you have to stop mobile phones when students are so young and things like that, they, of course, can answer you when you say in our laboratory we can do that. They, of course, can say no, the ministry said not. And you can compare Italian students with foreign students. We will go to the secondary schools, for instance. Disadvantages in respect of other countries. This is my point.
Teachers said to me that the lesson is better now. Okay. Before, last year wasn't so freely, so calm, so challenging, because they were always thinking about the message arriving from the girlfriends or the boyfriend. So
it depends.
This is why our telephone should be closed. If we need, we use, but we use iPad, we use computers, we use everything school has. Any school has. There is no more schools which hasn't a good laboratory or a good technology to give to students. So I was afraid of these things that the minister did. But now I've talked about with my teachers, and they said to me that the lesson is better. They are all calm, and they're ready to learn. They are not stressed by the phone.
Of course, everything must be under control. But in my opinion, young students can, if they have the possibility to experiment, for instance, augmented reality, for their target, of course, under control, they can go further with computational thinking, with always also the way you, if you explain them how to do things, how to use augmented reality, how to create your own app with the right software. If they do as homework, I agree and I'm happy for this. But in many occasions I see now that it is felt just like to go back to, not to face the challenges of the future, and like a disadvantage for our students.
So maybe the solution should be educate students and teachers as well.
Of course, and we're going to see at the end of the year
Yeah.
the results of this first year without phone in classroom. We're going to see what happened.
For research here, a lot of research.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue this interesting conversation with our online guest, Davide Taibi. Welcome, Davide Taibi, from the CNR ITD Italy. Mr. Taibi, what future scenarios do you envision for ARIES, and how might these experiences impact teacher training and student learning across Europe?
Thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to provide my view on the future of ARIES and the topic that we face in ARIES. And I was involved in the implementation of the ARIES project, and now starting from the 1st of October, I will be the coordinator of another Erasmus Plus project named AIR, that stands for Augmented Immersive Reality in Higher Education, which all the results that today have been also presented by the work group and implemented in ARIES with a specific focus on the higher on the secondary school will be practically transferred in the higher education. We will leverage all the experience that we developed within the ARIES project. Was fundamental, was successfully, as you have seen with the experience reported also by the students and all the partners participating in the project. And our attempt will be to face all the new challenges that we have to cope with in the higher education domain, in which we will have more specific topics, we will have different disciplines. Also, students have different interests in the use of this technology, and we also have to move the focus more not in the technological side, but also in the methodological side, which aim to study which is the best way and most effective way in which these technologies can be applied in the higher education domain. Actually, again, I don't know how many times you have, so probably I will take time in the others to continue. If we have time, maybe I can come back to the other topics that we're going to.
Okay, thank you, Davide. Now let's continue with Carmen Catalina Rusu from the University of Galati, Romania. Mrs. Russo, what future prospects do you see for ARIES at the European level, and how might its results be leveraged in university or future projects?
Okay, I'm hoping that you hear me well.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So before replying to your question, first of all, I would sincerely like
It's always boring. It's always boring.
So, from this point of view, the engagement and the use of the new technologies will bring satisfaction to students. Of course, you ask about the European level.
Yes.
My opinion is that at European level, it will be a very nice opportunity to strengthen the alignment with the digital education priorities. And from this point of view, ARIES results of the project will provide a very good, let's say, starting point for developing other priorities.
Okay.
From my part, I suppose that the results of the project will bring a very nice knowledge to all the educational institutions. And of course, the fact that the rapid evolution of the immersive technologies is reshaping right now the global education. That means that we should stay aligned with it. So let's make this an opportunity to, let's say, to progress together and to embrace these new technologies.
Thank you very much, Carmen. Now let's continue with the Roman Sarpanov from the Shalu Tech, Lithuania. Mrs. Sarpanov, how can a technical creativity center like Shalu Tech contribute to the ARIES? And how might this technology transform teaching and learning?
Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to participate in your conference and your multiplier event. I would see the use of the results of the project probably in three areas. So first of all, as a professional development of educators and teachers, because I can talk from our own perspective because we are a technical center and we focus on STEAM education. And if you take a look what's happening in Lithuania, I believe teachers and educators, they use AR or IR technologies, but not on a regular basis, but mostly fragmented. And I think it would be a very good niche to teach them and see how this could be applied and used in educational content. And here we have this another point. By using these technologies, we can, of course, enrich educational content and reach higher engagement of students. Especially, I believe, in primary school education or preschool education. So, because when a small child sees something coming from virtual world into physical space, it shocks them in a very positive way. And of course, it can be a very nice tool for practicing for higher school kids. But also this side of this, that higher engagement, also probably would see some risks in here. So we have to be careful with the content we are providing and how kids engage with them. Because if we talk, for example, STEAM education, and we can talk about different sectors, medicine, architecture, it's easier and to teach them some skills, but still you need to practice those skills in real world. If you want to choose chemistry or mechanical or to build a house, you can use AR as a practical tool, but still then you need to practice it in real life. So here we need to find the balance, how we organize our content and how we use it with the students. And another thing, I believe, where IR is very helpful is in work with the students with special needs. Because here we can meet their needs, we can adapt our content and make sure they engage in activities. So those three education, and then special education needs. So this is how I truly believe the results of this project would be used. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sarpanov. Now, I'd like to introduce you, Dimitrov Theokaris from the educational consultant Trikala. Good morning, Mr. Theokaris. What opportunities do you see for ARIES in secondary education, and how could this technology positively influence teacher skills and student experiences?
It's an honor to me to join this collaboration. ARIES program shows that augmented reality and immersive reality can enrich teaching and learning, fostering creativity, collaboration, and inclusion. As an educational consultant, I believe the next challenge is to ensure that this innovation practice moves beyond pilot projects and becomes sustainable in everyday school life. This requires supporting teachers with training, integrating immersive tools into curricula, and building strong relations between schools and research centers, and also the local community. Uh, First of all, ARIES project offers a complex way to enhance the teaching of complex subjects. Abstract concepts in mathematics, science, or even literature can be visualized and experienced interactively. For example, chemical bonds can be manipulated in three dimensions, solar system can walk through, and even poem can be explored as an immersive landscape. It transforms the learning from memorization to exploration, helping students understand and retain knowledge more effectively. Second, ARIES project represents the opportunity to increase modification and engagement. Reports from the past demonstrate that even students who were previously less motivated became active participants when they learn augmented reality. By combining familiar digital tools with creative and problem solving, students experience lessons as meaningful, interactive, and enjoyable. Such engagement is crucial for fostering curiosity, competence, and a lifelong interest in learning. Third, the project supports development of key competencies for both students and teachers. Students gain not only a specific knowledge, but also essential skills such as digital literacy, collaboration, creativity, and most of all, critical thinking. On the other hand, teachers develop their professional competencies by learning to integrate augmented reality and immersive learning. The adoption of the augmented reality and immersive reality in education represents a significant step toward innovation in teaching and learning. For the teachers, opening the opportunity to strengthen their digital pedagogy and professional competence. For the students, the benefits are equally transformative. The augmented and immersive reality makes abstract concepts visible and tangible. So, I think we must empower teachers to become more innovative, become digital educators, and provide their students with engaging, meaningful, and future operating experience. By embracing these technologies, school can be transformed the classroom into a space of exploration, creativity, and that's good for all of us.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Theokaris. If you don't have any further questions, I'm...
Only
Okay.
Only one thing. Hearing your speech, I had a dream, a few minutes. It would be very nice if we could have a vertical curriculum going from 6 years old till 18 years old. Just taking hand by hand each student, we can give him the way to reach the good way to use technologies, because technologies should be driven good if we don't want to lose our personality, our humanity field, because we never have to lose the part human we have. Don't be only mechanical, but we have something inside, emotion. So it will be very, very nice if we could have this sort of curriculum going, making it grow the students from 6 years old till 18, till the high school, just developing very well in the same way, using the same methodologies. This is a great dream. And we need the policy and organization and funds and this cooperation till people with other people which join together because they believe in the same dream, having a new society well done in humanity as well as in technology.
A dream that could come true.
Why not?
I think we all share Enza's dream. And I want to add something. For instance, this institute where we are at the moment created a very, very big and formed laboratory. And it is not only learning in the school years, but thanks to these laboratories, they give the opportunity to students and to internships, for instance, to work in society. They give to the students the means to work and to facilitate, skills for life, and they facilitate their entrance in the world of work.
The modern world.
Can I make just a final reflection? My impression is that, yes, we share a dream, a common dream, which is quite a systematic change, the need for quite a revolution, I would say, of the educational system. So while I totally agree with this dream, I think this might also require time and effort and, policy actions. So my invitation here, just to conclude, is, okay, but let's not wait for this. In the meantime, we can do, in our own little environments, we can do what we can do, but, just not keep on trying, keep on doing research, keep on experiment, and let's give input to the policymakers to make this big change.
That's why we all shared a lot of projects together.
Yeah.
We did a lot in the past, and I think we'll do in the future too.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, I would like to thank you, all the partners, students, teachers who have been involved in this very interesting project. I'm sure that this project has shown us that immersive technologies are not just tools, they are gateways to deeper engagement, creativity, and above all, inclusion in education. So I'm sure that ARIES is not the end. ARIES is the beginning, a foundation for future innovation, collaboration, transformation in schools or university in Europe. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your insights, your commitment, and let's continue building the future of education together.